Libra, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot astrology, any channeled messages that come through, as well as some Ayurvedic or holistic wellness, lifestyle habits, things that we can incorporate, especially into those places where we're challenging or we're being challenged, we're struggling, and we just need a little bit more support for our mind, body, soul. All right, let's get into it. I hope that you are well, Libra. All these readings, the messages are timeless. I do use the current astrology. However, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I'm sure you know the drill. All right, so yeah, we're in Gemini season. It's bringing in a little bit more energy, a little more vigor. It has a nice component to it, just in terms of how we are showing up, interacting in our day-to-day. It's bringing in new opportunities, specifically around places where we might have seen closed doors or come into some type of limitation, some type of restriction. And actually this week we are coming up on the most fortunate day of the year, the Venus and Jupiter conjunct. It's in Cancer, which is such a beautiful, nice energy. It is an energy of love, home, support, nurture, really just kind of bringing in that value of making sure that we're loving ourselves, right? That we're actually giving ourselves the support, that our life also is giving us the support it needs so that we can do and be who we want to do and be, right? Venus will then move into Leo, which will bring in more passion, more excitement, creativity, especially around the things that we do love in life, the things, the people, the relationships. It's great for love as well, if that's what you're looking for, but it doesn't have to be your vibe. Don't even worry, or your happily partner. Don't even worry about it. Don't take it if it doesn't resonate. And then we'll have our new moon in Virgo on the 15th. Or I'm sorry, new moon in Gemini. I've been having some, I don't know, there's something going on with communication. Actually, I think Mercury was, let me pull up my chart. I think Mercury is tensely aspected to, Saturn, Neptune, whoop, whoop. So communication can be a little bit wonky, and it's definitely showing up in my readings. I hope you catch my drift always. But that tension, that resistance, that's why I like to start the readings off with an energy cleansing, just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. Cleanse out those places we feel blocked, limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like to give Spirit to bring messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It really is a great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing, wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're looking for more of a realignment of self, your mind, your body, your soul, I do pranic energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Because when we are aligned in self, when we know ourselves, when we're honoring those parts of ourselves, that's really where we are tapping into our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance. And I would totally love to help support you in that, Libra, in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Woo! Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love. The sage has been attacking me lately, so that really freaked me out. All right, Libra, let's get into it. I'm hearing like, why are you so serious? Like, you don't have to be so serious about everything. Maybe you've had to work really hard at something and it did take a lot of grit and determination. It looks like you're now in a space where you're way more balanced, where you've kind of made it through. Even if you're not completely overdone with something, Pluto's in retrograde. So definitely it's highlighting transformation, like right places that cycles are closing out, new things are opening up, etc. But we do still have like lingering pieces, some loose ends, loose strings, so to speak. But it feels like, all that to say, like it feels like you can relax a little bit now. You don't have to be so intense or so driven. You can be more flexible in what you are trying to grow and build. And I think that that's actually going to help you overcome some of this fear that you might be facing. I'm hearing that it's been hard to change your mind, your mentality, the way you think, especially around some of the stuff that's happened in the past, some of the stuff that's brought you to the place that you're in right now. There's fear around stepping out again. I really love this though. This is such a beautiful, I love how you've honed your vision though, is what it looks like. You've honed your vision. You have more clarity. Again, even if all the pieces are not in play, or even if you're not completely out of a cycle, but you can see that light at the end of the tunnel. It's like preparing you for what is next and what is to come. And I do feel like this week, or whenever you find this, it's a really good opportunity to put yourself out there a little bit more. I think you're going to be really happy with what you find. I love this abundance energy for you. It's showing that your hard work is paying off. The places that you have made small steps, they're starting to uncover the big accomplishments. And I think this is stuff that maybe even hasn't 100% unfolded, come to light quite yet. Like, you might still be in a phase where you're wondering what is going to come out of all this. But again, we're going to abundance, and it's from an 8 to a 9 in the numerology. So progress is being made. Progress in a way that you have to trust your results, and then start being proactive about it. I think that, like, you know, I'm hearing, like, obviously coming from that viewpoint of manifestation, where we put our thoughts, that's what's going to be attracted to us. And it's simple, basic form, right? And so it looks like the change that you have done, like I said, now it's time you are living it, but it's time to deepen that even more. Because I think you have a lot of consciousness, a lot of awareness around where you do need to be putting your time and energy. I think you've done a lot of work. You've built a really strong foundation for self. And now it's time to see what that foundation can do for you. 38 breaks down to 11, which is a master number. It's about our empowerment. It's like stepping into our power, our individual power, leveling up. Okay, so in your blocked energy, this makes sense. Focus on the big picture. Because you have had to be so tunnel vision to some capacity, or maybe you had to just be very disciplined with self, keeping yourself buttoned up, whatever that looks like. It was hard to see the bigger picture. It was hard to see the good that was happening. You could have also had a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, who was messing with that as well. Fire energy can be arrogant. I'm not saying it just has an arrogant component to it. And that's what I was picking up. It could be like someone was creating a lot of drama along the way, making the big picture hard, right? Almost this, for some of you, this might not resonate with everybody, but wondering if things were even going to come, right? Like if things were actually ever going to change, or if you were just going to constantly be in this cycle. But I like this. Things are healing. We have the star. And I feel like this is not just in your environment, but I feel like this is all across the board in your life. Things are healing. And I think it's a direct reflection of the healing that you've done within self, i.e. those places of you that you have kept really buttoned up, or, you know, not let yourself veer off course too much one way or the other. Balance is so important for you. Keeping middle of the road. That's what helps you feel stable and grounded in self. So, okay. Dealing with an energy that there is a level of positivity, there is a level of hope around this energy, but it feels like it does carry a lot of burden. It carries a lot of weight with it. This is an energy of someone saying that they're healing. They might have like not been very proactive in the relationship, in the dynamic with you. Because I'm seeing you not really believing someone or something, maybe not taking someone at their word, feeling like there's this tower energy. So something has happened that like has made it really hard for you to trust in someone or in future dynamics. Whatever this fear is, fear of certain things manifesting, happening all over again, right? You've worked so hard to accomplish certain things, and it is paying off. And I do feel, again, even if you're not at your end goal destination, it feels like you're seeing the fruits of your labor. But it does look like there has been some difficulty around you. Someone who also needed time and space to heal. There's our manifestor card. And I think that's where the disconnect is coming into play. Let's see why you're conflicted. Yeah, like the disconnect is coming into play because someone really took their time around something, and maybe they're resurfacing right now. Maybe they're resurfacing. Let's see. 5 of Wands, 7 of Cups. Someone was getting way too lost in just like so lost in the difficulties, the disappointment. They said this is all emotional energy, and it's very just lost in your own world. I think that was really hard for you because none of these Cups cards are that great, to be honest. 4 of Cups, 5 of Cups is like when we can't get ourselves out of our own headspace and we keep focusing on the lack, what's not working, the disappointment, the past, blah, blah, blah. And 7 of Cups, it's nice because it brings options, but it can definitely be about getting lost in fantasies. And this might have been you, or I don't know, because you're coming through as this really strong magician energy. We're getting a lot of confirmations, even just this face your fears. Like, I feel like this is heavily connected to whatever you're trying to manifest. And maybe, I don't think that you're necessarily trying to manifest something with this dynamic. It looks like it's the thing you have to work with right now, and it hasn't really worked. It's not that it's not working. It looks like there is healing happening. But again, you're not sold on it. You're not sold on it because of this is a messy energy. Conflict around the upheaval, around how someone acted, behaved, the choices that they made in order to, while something was falling apart, while something was deconstructing. And it looks like it's taken this person dynamic a long time to come around again. And it doesn't even really look like they're fully there, right? Like they're still in this process of healing. They also have this waiting energy, which is in their blocked energy. So it's very much like taking their time, but maybe taking too long, if that makes sense. Like this feels like someone who might use healing as an excuse, or again, just this energy of like, maybe you're dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It doesn't have to be, but this is just someone who's getting very lost in that world or doesn't really want to do anything to make things different. It's like, I want to be better, but actually being proactive about the dynamic between you two is a harder thing for them to do. And it does look like because of all of this, you're not really on the same page. You might entertain whatever they're saying. You might think about it, process through, give them a little bit of your headspace as they come around. I don't think that you're doing that specifically right now because you are, again, like you have a lot of good things going for you. And so it looks like you don't really want to invest in the stuff that feels uncertain. It feels uncertain. It feels uncertain in the way that you can't really trust someone or something, or that's how you're perceiving it, because you don't want to do all this hard work just to put yourself back into the same space again. Interesting, right? Beginning, we were seeing King of Wands, and now we're seeing the Knight of Wands, and it's being clarified with the decision that you have to make around, whether or not you're going to give someone a fair shake or not. It feels like there is more immaturity in this dynamic than maybe what someone's trying to present as. And especially if this dynamic did you wrong, be really cautious with how you move forward. Also, I don't feel like if it is a person, it doesn't really look like they're acknowledging that. They're having a really hard time taking ownership. Yes, they want to mend. Yes, they like what they see when it comes to you. Feeling left out, feeling like you're not paying attention to them, feeling like they deserve it. But again, like not really understanding maybe how their choices, actions, behaviors affected you. And it looks like this situation is changing, because on one hand, if this person continues to like not say, do anything and kind of keep it in this ambiguous space, well, life's going to move ahead anyway. You're already positioned in that direction. And it doesn't look like you're necessarily waiting for anyone, anything. If anything, you're in this vibe of like being very focused on what you're growing and building for self. And they can feel that. They can sense that. They see that you're not giving them maybe what you used to with this Five of Pentacles, left out in the cold, not getting the attention that they want, having a hard time with it. There's a reason though. There's a reason, right? That's what it feels like. There's a reason. And I'm not necessarily going to knock you for it, Libra, because it does feel a little self-protective. It feels like you want to be really mindful about your energy, who and what you invest in. Aquarius is the sign of rebellion. And I love it because the tagline on this in this deck is I know. So it's like you have the information, now what are you going to do with it? Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is in Gemini right now. It actually just moved into Gemini. And when it was in Taurus, it was retrograded. It was like slow as molasses. And I feel like it was forcing us to deal with these types of situations. Like the things that like might not be fun, might not be easy to navigate, but we're forced to kind of look at the nitty gritty and do something about it. Whether or not people want to change, grow, evolve is going to be up to them. And that's where you're making your decisions and have made your decisions accordingly. And now that Uranus has moved into Gemini, it really is opening up. You know, if someone's not going to work with you, then other options are going to come into play. And it's almost like the things that they were fearing in the beginning are actually like manifesting now because they took a long time to come around. And I don't know. I don't even know that they're being proactive towards you this week either. Like, I don't really necessarily see them making attempts to interact, engage. If anything, it feels like you're still just annoyed and frustrated with this situation. And you want to keep your own peace. You want to keep your own stability. But it's also forcing the hand of stability in this dynamic. So places where things did fall apart and maybe in a very big way, it's forcing the balance of that. Yep, stability and direction. I love this for you, Libra, though. I think that you deserve it. And I think that that's kind of like what your end goals are. And that's where this magician manifestor energy keeps coming up for you. As much as maybe there's certain healing happening in dynamics, I think it's healing you in the way that you've learned the lesson and now you're overcoming and now you're recognizing that you can expand beyond and you can actually ask for more because you have learned. And some of this is not the most easy energy. Actually, as I'm saying this, I think Leo got the same card in their overarching energy as well. Facing the fear. Things need to be addressed. Things need to be understood from a more clear perspective in this dynamic. You know, that might be a tricky conversation to have. That might be something that everyone's avoiding. And it just is what it is. But you're pushing forward, right? Like you've learned enough at this point that you're not going to let it continue to infiltrate or consume or put you in a bad position, which I think is really the silver lining, especially for you and your energy. Not knocking whomever, whatever this is to you, but it does look like you've evolved beyond it. They might be holding on to you more than you're holding on to them type vibe. And I think that's the scary part. That's the scary part for everyone involved, right? Like we never want to have those honest conversations, brutally honest conversations, but you're kind of in a no BS mode because of what has brought you to this place. So very interesting energy. I like where you're headed. Make sure to continue to focus on the bigger picture, even if you do have to interact, engage with this energy. You know, we don't want to retaliate is what I'm hearing, or make sure that if you are making certain decisions, severe, intense decisions, that it comes with peace, calm within your soul, that you've actually, like, you're okay with it, essentially, right? Maybe on the surface level, but I'm hearing like that's where the retaliation can get the best of you. If you just react out of the hurt, out of the pain. I don't necessarily see that, like, because if anything, it looks like you're kind of holding things together despite the destruction. So that's the positive. But, you know, just think things through, process it through before you act, as always. All right. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always, Libra. I super appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. Know that it blesses my heart, and I'm sending love and blessings back to you.